Good morning, welcome back out at sea. I hope everybody had a nice Christmas. This is the first video since Christmas. I think we're a couple of days after now, so we've managed to get another session in before the end of the year, which is brilliant, and we're probably going to get another one or two as well, looking at the forecast. I've come a long way offshore, we're wrecking, and the target is bass and pollock. I've mentioned it before, especially the videos this time last year where we had some cracking fish. This time of year, the bass and pollock, they move off, they ball up, they get out from inshore, most of them, and they move offshore and they sit on those deeper offshore wrecks that don't get touched that much. They are creatures of habit, they do go to the similar sort of places. I'm hoping they're going to be here today. Out to the first wreck. It's not my main destination, I'm stopping off on the way. I've already come a long way and we've got no tide. We've literally making 0.4. Just gone slack water. It's going to start ebbing shortly, so we're going to start off on the jigs, on the slow jigs, and this will be a feature of today. Going to go down with a Sidewinder helm, 80 grams to start with. I've just done a quick test one, get the line wet, and it's going down fine. So I'm just going to get set up over this drift, and hopefully we can get into some pollock. When the tide moves, I'll go on to the traditional boom and Sidewinder setup. We've got a few bits to try out today, and I might even put the underwater camera down on some of the wrecks where I'm going to go to later. Other than that, fingers crossed for a good day. Thanks for joining me. Let's see how we get on. Right, here we go. First cast on the wreck. I say we are creeping up it really slowly. I don't mind lots of tide, and I don't mind no tide. You just have to adjust the way you fish. And no tide at the minute, the standard way is not really going to work. You know, you will catch, but I like a bit of tide when I'm fishing that way. So I'm going to fish the slow jigs until that picks up. This one is quite a snaggy one, this one. You get some wrecks that are upside down and it's all smooth bottomed, and you can bounce your leads off them and whatever, and you don't snag up that much. This one is the opposite. It's sat upright, it's all collapsed in, and it's full of lots of snags. So there's the bottom there. I'm just going to keep it quite low to the deck to start with, and when I see that wreck I'll crank it up. Just letting the rod do the work with this slow jigging, little flicks of the tip. That's what it's designed for. Every now and then I'll give it a little long pull like that. I might give it a couple of short flicks. If you know what your jig's doing, then it doesn't matter what you're doing, because you can get that action. And sometimes doing that, you can pick up an extra fish just by changing what you're doing. Go again. I will work this one a bit more than normal. I'll do it with the jigs and then I'll do it with the standard lures, just to try and find what's going on. Sometimes I don't want the metals. It sounds weird. Sometimes you'll have much more success with a rubber lure, and other times the metals will outfish the other ones 3 or 4 to 1. But say that tide hasn't really got going yet, so hopefully when it gets going we can find a few. There normally is some laying on this one. Right on that wreck. I thought I'd drop a bit more line out just to let it go down and get to the bottom, and it was 30 centimetres and it hit the bottom, so we were just working that wreck there right close. Sometimes they sit well above it, pollock, other times they'll be right in amongst it. Big bit of the wreck. Big snaggy bit of the wreck coming up. A couple more turns there, I think. Something had to go then. A little grab then. Again. Yep, fish on. Fish on. Fish on, guys. What happened there was I was lifting up and I saw that the line just gone slack. So instead of tightening up, the line just went really slack, which is a sign that a fish has picked it up on the drop. This has got some weight to it. Oh, something had to go then. A little grab then. And again. Yep, fish on. Fish on. It went off like a pollock. Not giving me much of a fight now though. What is this? Come on. Still not a few head shakes. Went off like a pollock. We're going to see in a minute. I've got the net set. I'm still over the wreck. Took it right at the start, that one. Here's the leader, so we're going to find out. Oh yeah, nice pollock. That's not a bad way to start the day, that one. We're going to net it. Yeah. That there's not a bad way to start. Oh yes, please. That's a very nice pollock. Well, there we go. First fish of the day. I said I think we'd get some on this one. And that is a lovely, lovely winter pollock. And he has come on a slow jig. I thought it was an Odin. It's not. It is a helm again, but it's just heavier, different colour. But yeah, not bad one. It'd be £5–6. Every bit of that. That's a nice fish. Right, I'm not keeping any pollock, bass today, got no interest in it, no one's with me who's keeping it, so everything I get's going to go back. He's got no sign of blistering, he hasn't blown, so I'm going to dart him back, torpedo him, gives him a bit more of a chance. There we go. Now he has gone, now he is swimming down, he's going very slow, but he has gone out of sight, so I think he will just repressurise himself, not that he's blown. But he has powered down and he hasn't come straight back up. There's a lot of talk at the minute about pollocking and possibly, I mean, if you follow my Facebook and the fish locker mentioned it as well the other week, talks possibly about a pollock limit and how we'd feel about it. Catching pollock out deep in winter during the breeding season is a big part of it for a recreational angler and how we can play our part. Talking about descenders and stuff. I played him up nice and slow there, brought him up through the depths. He didn't blow, he didn't blister. And he's gone back, so that is one of one gone back. That wasn't a bad fish to start with, was it, eh? So maybe about £5–6. Lovely well conditioned fish, and it went back, so double win. Just changing that jig there, I could see that the 80 grams wasn't quite cutting it, and it needed a bit more weight just to get that up and down a bit more. And then first go with that new one. Had a different colour, to be fair, it could have been a colour thing. Yeah, first go and then bang, we put a pollock on, and that took that quite low to the deck. And like I was saying, I was just, depending how you work it, everyone will work their jigs differently, and everyone will tell you their way's the best, or that you're doing it wrong sometimes, as I've found. But lifting it up and then letting the line just coil back on the water, and what happens is occasionally you'll see the line doesn't go tight. And that's where something has snapped it on the way down. So there's now no tension on your line, and you just have to reel in, go tight to it. And I'm not happy with that. I'm going to reset that. Just coming in. Again, not happy with it. Boat's swinging a little bit in the wind. It's got the tiniest little breeze. Yeah, and I saw the line gone slack, reeled down tight into it, and darted off like a pollock. I'm going to miss the best bit of the wreck here because there it is. Yeah, and a lovely condition pollock. Happy days. Hopefully find a few more of those and some bass. I'm dropping straight into a snaggy part of this wreck now. Right, let's see if we can get one on this jig again. If we don't, I might go to that traditional way. There's normally quite a few on this one, so just having the one at the minute, I'm just wondering whether or not they might want something different. I'm not going to leave it until I'm fully confident there's not much on it today. Which does happen, fish swim, they got tails. Not every wreck can have 100 fish on it, 1,000 fish on it, you know. Some days you drop in and you're straight in, and that's how it goes all day on the one wreck. Nice and easy and you look like a hero. Other times you just got to work for it. like I said, this is a stop off for me today. This isn't the wreck I want to get to. Got a little way to go for that one yet, but gets the lines wet, gets you down, gets you right in. Found a few fish hopefully. Come on. There on. Oh no, that's the wreck. Oh no, straight into the wreck. Oh no. That's not good. We have our first casualty now. Oh, that's gone. I dropped it down again. And it went tight. Oh, we've lost it. I think that might even be our leader gone as well. Yeah, that's the leader gone as well. Never mind. First casualty of the day. Never mind. Right, going down with the traditional boom and sidewinder now. This is the orange 6-inch from the Cod Squad pack. And that's what caught me the 14.6 last trip out. In fact, it was this exact lure actually. Yeah, I've lost that jig now and the leader. Yeah, lost the jig and the leader, so I'll retie that in a minute. And for now, we'll just see whether or not they want something different. I'm having to use my old Penn Squalls. My 2 Penn Fathom lever drags both had damage. The bearings went in one, and then the 2-speed button snapped off on the other one. And I'm careful with my reels, I am very careful. Look after them, etc. And they're less than a year old, so I wasn't particularly happy. But they're in for fixing, and they are fixed now. Just got to go and pick them up. But for now, I'm back onto the Penn Squall Star Drags. We've got a pout on this. Going up and down, I think we've got a pout. I know I have. Wasted drift. Yes indeed. Had him right at the start and I thought he'd come off, but he hadn't. But he lure's bigger than the pout. It's quite a way to come here for one fish as it stands. I'd like to get a few more before I move off. Wreck is just starting to show itself. Get like a little small bit at the start and then it really jumps up. It's quite flat and then it goes chaotic. It's proper big. 2 more goes. Same drift line as I've been on, and then I'm going to move right to the very end of it, and then I'm going to stick the underwater camera down actually on the ground around here. Just want to tie up that new leader. It'll only give me 5 minutes of footage, but it'll tell me what the bottom's like, and you never know what you're going to see on those cameras. And then I'm going to go off to the next wreck, I think. There she is, all in her glory. Come on, the Pollack. Not been enough so far. Only the one. Not enough, not good enough. Fish on. Fish on. Got something on. It's quite a violent take, that one, but it doesn't feel. Oh, there we go, it's woken up now. There we go. There we go. I think that's a bass, that feels bassy. Yeah, I think that's a bass. That was quite a violent take, that one, really violent. It didn't crash dive. It's giving me head shakes, so I think that's a bass. Right hard to the deck that is. I just dropped it back and then cranked it up and it was on. Yeah, I'd be pretty certain this one is a bass. There's the leader, so we're going to find out. No, I was wrong, it's a small pollock. I'll say small, he's respectable. He's respectable. Thought that was a bass, I won't lie. Normally pretty good at calling those. And he's taken that orange 6-inch from the cod squad there, couple of pound. Still got the black spots on it. The smaller ones have the black spots. Yeah, but he has engulfed that again. Absolutely engulfed that. Again, let's see if I can put it back. I think he's gone. Can't see him. Right, well, we had a fish that go, so we'll stay. Just drop down slightly though on the wreck. Start at the one end, gradually work my way through the middle a little bit where it's really snaggy. Now we're just on the southern end of this one now. Normally I'll do 3 or 4 drifts on a wreck. If I haven't had a fish or a lost fish, then I'll move on. But this one I know it's quite a big wreck and it does hold, so I've given it a bit more time than normal. And we've had a couple off of it, you know. It's not been dire. It's been slow, but it's not been dire. The next one, or the final wreck, is where I'm really hoping it will kick off. But as always, you never know till you get there. Okay, so we've moved on another few miles now. We are way offshore now. Going to get one of them welcome to France messages. Not the end destination, but there's another wreck on the way I've never fished before. It's not a particularly big wreck, but I want to just give it a go because then I've got an idea of what it is and if there's anything on it. It's just across the tide. We're moving at 1.3 now, so we have got a little bit of movement. That's us on the bottom. We're still on with the orange cod squad. It worked out quite well because there's a large container ship about to pass me in front and I would have had to stop to slow down for him anyway. So actually this wreck is perfect timing really. But we're over it. It doesn't look particularly proud. I'll give it a couple of goes and if I don't snag up I might put the camera on this one. There's a fish. Something then. Just went heavy. Squid. Diddly diddly. Bit small. I'm going to put the camera down. See if we can't find out what this is. If I do get the footage or if I get a fish, I will put it in now. We have now come out to what is an uncharted wreck. I found it by accident steaming home one day. Big lump popped up and it's not on the charts, it's not marked as anything, but it is a wreck. And I don't know, never fished it, don't know what's going to be on it. Typically I have got a massive boat bearing down on this course, so I'm going to get one drift I think and then I'm going to have to move. But if they're going to be here, they're going to be here. Yeah, it's completely unmarked. A lot of wrecks around offshore, the accuracy of them, where they think they are, can be out by 1 kilometre or 2 kilometres sometimes. They're not always where they are. Wrecksite EU will tell you that. And I think this is just one of those ones that they don't know where it is. But I might have found one of them. And I will try and put the camera on it if it's not too snaggy. Oh, there's a fish. Oh, there's a wreck. There's a snaggy wreck. That's answered that question off the bat. Straight into it. That'll be our lure gone. Not even gonna know what's on there now because I've lost the lure first go. And that boat, like I said, it is bearing down right on this course typically. Oh, we have got a load of dolphins just outside of us. Oh, they're having a nice little meander. We've got 3 or 4 dolphins, porpoise, whatever they are. Yeah, lost the lure. Yeah, dolphins or porpoise just outside of me. 100, 200 metres. Oh, that's a nice sight. I did I did see some on the way out. A pair, and then 4. Now they're out here as well, so hopefully the feed's out here and the fish. My hat, look, what is going on with this hat? There we go. Right, we'll try again. I've gone down with a 6-inch glitter Candy King. And that large boat, he's obviously, they know what they're doing in them things. Give them the respect they deserve. I just showed him the line I was doing, been around a couple of times. He's obviously got me up on radar and the rest of it. And you'll see there's a wreck here. And he's just turned slightly to port. And now he's going to pass behind me now. So we should be okay. But if we're not, obviously I will move out of his way because you don't mess with them. Well, hopefully we can get over this. There is the wreck. No dice. Gone right through that as well. Looked like we had. Obviously, it's not marked on the 3D. Doesn't come up on the 3D. It's not one that's been mapped yet. But it was quite a long go through on the sounder. Doesn't look particularly massive, but I went all the way through it and nothing. Not good. We've come a long way today. Might be a little bit early. You have to track the fish out from inshore. Obviously, it moves all the way off. But the other day, I was a bit closer in. I'm a lot further off than I was the other day when we had them fish. So perhaps they're just in a berth a little bit. But I'll keep trying. I'm not going to give up. I'll come all this way. I'm going to keep going. Although the fish is not tearing, the weather certainly is absolutely gorgeous. The sea has now got that oily looking slick to it. It is just absolutely stunning. I do love winter fishing. I think it's my favourite time of year. I like the turbot in through the summer. I like the black bream in the autumn. But I do love offshore in the winter. Cold, crisp days, oily seas. Yeah, definitely I think that is the one for me. I'm going to give this a couple more. And then I'm going to have to get my thinking cap on. Which I was hoping I wouldn't have to do today. But that's fishing. I can just snaffle 1 or 2 off of here, then I've got something, and then I can start working around. I'm starting to put some numbers in, but yeah, a lot of miles today for not many fish. Right, so that container ship, which I thought was going to give me a wide enough berth, and that's don't wrong, I'm in his way, not he's in my way. I thought it was going to be a wide enough berth. Turns out I looked at it and I thought, no, he's going to get a bit close. And in true Sod's Law fashion, his line has gone right over the wreck. The fish are used to it, they hear these container ships going up and down all day. But I decided that I was going to be a bit close for comfort. I just pushed off. Stuck a couple of squid jigs down just to pass time while I'm waiting. The wreck is just behind me, and this man is going to go past me nice and safely because I've taken positive action, not negative one, not gambling. Don't mess with these guys out here, they won't mess with you. And they can't turn, they can't stop. Better safe than sorry. That doesn't look far away, but he's a couple of 100 foot behind me there. Plenty enough for him. They know that we operate sensibly out here. Yeah, they know that we operate sensibly, or for the most part. But yeah, don't take risks. If he was in his way, you'd get a 5 blasts on the horn. Yeah, don't mess with these guys. Let them have right away. Fish comes second to safety. Right, that vessel has now passed. He is off in our background now, or our foreground, sorry. And I can go again. I'm going to work this one a few times. There's got to be something here. Got to be. There's one, there's one, there's one. Oh, that was a nice fish. Come off. My fault. That was me, that was. I think I should have, I held it there to try and play the fight and the hook pulled. At least there's something there. That felt quite nice, that one. Bugger. I just held the rod there and it shook the hook. I should have carried on reeling. My fault. I didn't strike or lift it up or anything, I held the rod there to try and enjoy the fight a little bit, and it was diving, shaking, and it shook the hook. That one was on me, that one. Never mind. Sign of life though, which is good. Felt quite nice. That was a shame, yeah, my fault that one. I hooked into it, I just went firm, I was enjoying the fight, and I should have just carried on reeling for that initial bit. You don't strike when you're wrecking like this, you just keep reeling. They hook themselves, but he was shaking his head, I should have kept that tension on. That one is on me, a bit rusty after Christmas. Did feel like quite a nice fish. Give myself a slightly longer run up this time. I was a bit short the last couple. I was only just splashing down as the wreck was coming up, and I quite like to have it up and down a few times, and then I can reset it and bring it straight up over the wreck just as it comes in. Just gets all the lines straightened out, any kinks in it gone. Oh well, it's been a bit slow today. 2 fish boated and 1 lost. Not what I was expecting for this time of year. It's been very slow today. I've still got, it's only 11:30, so I've still got plenty of time. But I was hopeful they would be out here. But I might be a couple of weeks earlier. They said earlier they might be in a berth. They might still be a bit further in. We shall see. It's just there. Give it a couple more goes. I might try and put the camera on it. Give it a couple more goes, and then I'm going to have to go and find some more fish somewhere else because this ain't working. Okay, we are on a new wreck. And this one we have the Germans to thank for. This is a World War II submarine casualty. It was sunk by a submarine. It's not a submarine, it was sunk by one. I fished it a few times before, not often, but I've only ever had pout on it. And doing a bit of reading up on a few reports and stuff on the wreck itself, a lot of divers state marine life is just dead on it. Don't know why, I'm not sure. So not holding out much hope, but it was on the way anyway back into where I'm going next. So I'll give it another go. Well, any day a wreck can turn on or off, so I don't ever discount a wreck completely. I'll have my favourites, as everyone does. Yeah, I've not had much luck on it, so I'll give it 3 goes, and then we'll see how we get on. It's quite large, but I say I've only ever had pout on it. And there it is. There's something. And there is a pout, I think. It's not very lively. Yep, it's a pouting. 0 knock to that at all. I thought it was just dead weight. That's what we don't want. And that is going to be a lot on this one. We are moving again. Only done 1, 2, 3, 4 wrecks today now. So we haven't bounced around like I normally do. If I bounce around, I can hit as many as 10, 11, 12 wrecks in a day sometimes. If it's scratchy, I can hit, say, well into double figures. But I wanted to fish a certain few wrecks today, and it hasn't really paid off. But never mind. Right, back in a little bit now. Still offshore, but not as offshore. A little tiny one here. Never fished this one either. There's a boat on the wreck I was on this morning. There's a boat on it now, so I'm not going to go back there. I'll leave him to it. The one where we had the 2 pollock this morning. Could have stayed there and snatched fish all day. It would have been scratchy, but you would have put some numbers up. But I just wanted to get offshore and explore today, which is what we've done. Hasn't worked out, but other days it does. And there is the wreck. If I went back to that wreck over there, I'd be confident I'll pick something up. But there's another boat on it. I'm going to leave him to it. If I can, I'll try to do that. I don't try to, unless it's a wreck I really want to be on, I'll try and leave people alone if I can. We've got enough wrecks out here. I know you do get your hot ones, and if they're hot, they're hot. try and leave them alone if I can. I won't go over there. The thing with these small wrecks is your lure has to be bang on the money. It's got to be right in that kill zone. If you're too high over it or too low, or you're just above it as you're dropping into it and you drop into it, you often don't pick the fish up. That lure has to be swimming just above that wreck, above the deck as it was. Otherwise you're in and over it in seconds. That one was timed just right. I saw it coming in, dropped it down, come back over the top of it. It's all about trying to imagine what that lure's doing. Pluck them. There's a fish. There's a fish. There's a fish, guys. Oh, I just lost it. Not having much luck, are we? We didn't do anything wrong there. Just shook the hook. That was a fish, that's a good sign. 4 fish hooked today. 2 landed, 2 lost. Hey, hey, hey. Yep, fish on, guys. That's a better one. That's a better one. That's a better one. We are fish on, and that felt Pollacky. Happy days. Keep going. I want to keep that tension on. Way out the back of the boat. There's the leader. Oh, nice pollock. Oh, that is only just hooked though. Only just hooked, but it's another pollock. Right. He has blown there, slightly deeper water this bit, even though we're in slightly deeper water. And this is exactly what I was talking about earlier when I gave it a little bit of slack. Look at that hole there. Now, I've spoken about this in previous videos, and last time I held the rod and it shook its head. All it's done me, look, that with little tension. See if I can show you a bit better, hang on. With hardly any tension at all, that hook will just fall out of that hole. The hole's there, and it shakes its head. Look at the size of that hole there. All that there is where it's shaking its head. They've got a thin membrane. Turbot are the same. I've spoken about it with turbot before. They shake and they shake and they shake. The minute you drop your rod tip or don't keep tension, it just comes off like that. He has blown, unfortunately, so he's to be a keeper, that one. But that's okay. I'm happy to keep one. But yeah, that's it. Another pollock. Right, we are in again. In a bit more. Still can't see land, but we are starting to lose the light now. I've only got about an hour and a half left, and then it's dark. And I'm currently still in the lanes, so I am going to have 1 or 2 drifts on this wreck, and then I'm probably going to steam out the lanes, do one the other side of it, and then just get home. Slap water in half hour anyway, so that'll probably be my cue just to get in. Only 3 pollock today, I think it is. Slow day, well below par on what I was hoping for, but that is just how it goes. That is just how it goes. Nice to explore though, move around and have a look about, work out where that fish is, or as it isn't, you know. I'm out again on Sunday, 2 days time, Friday today. I'm out on Sunday with a Chinese dragon potentially, and I know now where we're not going to go. So every trip's a win, you know. Even when you lose, you still win. As cliche as that sounds, you know, I know where they're not now.